Start with the name of Allah, the most kind, the most merciful upon His creature. Today we will say bye to 2022 and welcome to 2023. Happy New Year to all of my viewers, listeners from me. I wish all of them a happy new year with prosperity, health, and good wishes. Today, we are living in the world which is like a global village, and we have to aware of all the incidences which are happening in this world. So we will have a glance at what was happened in 2022. The year 2022 has been a year filled with major events and unexpected changes. The death of Queen Elizabeth, the severe flooding in Pakistan, the war in Ukraine, the protests in Iran. So, by months, we will come to know what was happened in 2022 because most of the worlds of the universe have started their 2023. In 2022, in January, Burkina President Roch Marc Christian Bor is overthrown by mutinying soldiers following public anger at his failure to stem violence in the country. In February, Russia launches a special military operation against Ukraine after recognizing the independence of so-called the Luhansk People's Republic and Donetsk People's Republic regions. In March 2022, Israel's parliament passes a law denying naturalism to Palestinians marked to citizens of Israel, leaving thousands of Palestinian families forced to either immigrate or live apart. In April, Imran Khan is dismissed as Pakistan's Prime Minister after losing a parliamentary vote of no confidence. In May, Sri Lanka defaults on his debt for the first time in its 70 years history as the country struggled with its worst financial crisis. In June, Canada and Denmark end their competing claims for Hans Island by dividing Arctic land mass roughly in half, ending an almost 5 decades long dispute. In July, Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, the country's longest serving leader in the modern era, is shot dead while addressing a political campaign rally in Nauru City. Turkey, the UN, Russia, and Ukraine signed a landmark deal in Istanbul to resume Kyiv's Black Sea's grain exports. In August 2022, the FBI recovers roughly 100 documents marked classified during search of former US President Donald Trump's Palm Beach estate Mar-a-Lago. In September, Iran is gripped with anti-government protests after Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old Iranian woman, dies in the custody of the country's morality police. Queen Elizabeth II the UK's longest serving monarch, dies aged 96 years after a 70-year reign. In October, Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu wins a decisive victory in the country's fifth election within 4 years. In November, veteran operation leader Anwar Ibrahim becomes Malaysia's 10th prime minister after a 25-year struggle that had also seen him jailed. In December, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa survived impeachment vote over infamous Frontex scandal and is elected as the leader of the ruling African National Congress. Events of 2022 deadly war in Ukraine by Russia. The most significant event was Russia's invasion of Ukraine. February 24, 2022, US officials began warning Russia would invade Ukraine. European leaders, including Ukraine President, dismissed the idea of war on February 24, 2022. Russia launches a special military operation to denazification of Ukraine. 6 weeks later, Russian forces abandoned the southeastern city of Kherson, which Russia captured in 2014, which left Ukraine in dark and cold. After that, Sri Lanka's searching economic crisis, political economic importance in 2022. Sri Lanka's scorching economic crisis was highlighted in 2022. Fallout after COVID, the fame since about the mind of 2021. Economic conditions started growing. Every facility growed at higher prices. The government provided enforcement. Thousands demanded the resignation of the president, Rajapaksa, due to wrong management of finances. Finally, at July 9, 2022, people attacked on his house before resigning. New president came, and former Rajapaksa returned to the island in the process of setting things right. So, after that, in 2022, a third event came, and that is Iran uprising against hijab mandate. Anti-hijab protests in Iran consolidate death of a young Iranian girl, woman Mehta Amini. Iran police and government cracked down on the protesters, and the execution of those protesting widely criticized and ridiculed the world, especially the human rights activists and organizations. It was perhaps like a challenge for the leaders of Islamic Republic Iran since coming power in 1979. Protest has been rising since September 16th with all power. Authority them try to stop the march by slogan "Women, Life, Freedom." Many women adopted the symbolism in honor of deceased Lady Amani. Almost 480 people killed by army forces, according to estimate by Human Rights. Still, this struggle continues. 2000 will continue in 2023. After that, UK gets its first Indian original PM. It is a major incident which was happened in 2022. UK gets its first Indian origin PM. The UK has a most dramatic event in 2022, losing his queen by death and having three prime ministers in 1 year. The drama started resigning. First Prime Minister resigned in July 7, 2022 after scandal. Listra becomes new conservative leader after a leadership battle. She took charge in September 6, 2022 thanks to her tax policies, but she cannot stand for long and finally resigned in October 2022. October 25 charge taken by Sunam became Prime Minister of the region. SUNUM Sonam became Prime Minister of the region. He became leader of Conservative Party on Devil evening. Age for 42 years, became the youngest Prime Minister of UK since 1812. After that, the most highlighted event, Elon Musk, who bought the Twitter in 2022, takes over Twitter. This person become the highlight of every newspaper this year, since one of the other reasons taken over the social media platform after a legal battle. Elon Musk finally bought Twitter for $44 billion in October 2022, took over control in October 28, 2022, then started controversies. He forces workers to do overtime. He recounts the rights of workers, invite hackers to take over blue take indication. After that, he was free for speech, but he actually lose what he did because all displeased. After that, major incidents in 2022 is anti-NATO across Europe. Donald Trump also suspended the rights of journalists. However, after a Twitter envelope, the restarted. In anti-NATO protests across Europe against inflation, 70,000 protesters were present. Protest was against the Europe Union, Germany, and many other countries, and people came out of streets with the cracking cost of the living prices. A massive crowd of protesters gathered across the place against NATO. After that, world population across 8 billion. So the major incidence is that according to an estimate, still the world population is 8 billion. On November 15, 2022, with India, the largest country milestone crossing to the United Nations, India added 177 million in the final population score. In 2080, according to an estimate, population will reach to 10 billion people in the world. After that, the term turn in Xi Jinping in China started. China President October 23rd, 2022, a new president of China came, which is already the president in the past period. General Secretary of third party elected, 69 years old. head of the military. After that, historic protests in China against zero COVID policy. Public protest is on zero policy cases in 1989. It was a big protest. That is all for the information. Thanks so much.